Howdy. Every so often, the cards fall just right. The clouds part and the planets align. You find yourself unable to lose a hand of poker like Moneymaker in the 2003 World Series of Poker, or miss a three like Jordan in the 92 Game 1 NBA Finals, and you're draining your putts or chips like Tiger on the 16th at Augusta in 2005. Sometimes things just happen either by sheer luck or will. It was meant to be. I'm reminded of 2010 when Gerard Johnson won the first three, lost the next three, and then midseason we changed to Tannehill and went out. Sometimes things just happen. Who knew Johnny was going to be Johnny until Johnny Johnny'd? Speaking of which, I got my Johnny Manziel Heisman shirt on tonight since we're speaking of the man. Are we on the precipice of something like this for Aggie football? Are we about to vault into a new era? Welcome to the Aggie Central podcast. I'm your host. Just call me Central. I've heard a bunch of X Factors being floated around. I've heard our wide receivers will be our X Factor this year. And look, that makes a lot of sense. I'm not going to deny that. We haven't had a good wide receiving core historically. So it looks like we've got as much talent as we've ever had. News coming out of camp sounds really, really good. Things seem to be where they need to be. Maybe they will be the X factor. Maybe they're going to be the antidote to our mediocrity. Well, I've heard a few other things too. What about our veteran offensive line? Mirroring the 2012 group or the 2020 group or even the 2018 group. Kind of veteran, solid guys. They're all coming back. It's kind of a big deal. Maybe they're going to be the X factor. We've had a lot of injuries there. So having all the depth that we've got, even with Fathery and some others, maybe that's going to be our X factor. Who can forget, though, maybe even it's Le'Veon Moss. I mean, what a talent this guy is, right? He's going to be coming back from injury, and the production that he's been able to give us so far has been mighty. So maybe he's going to be our X factor. But I think it's something different. And I don't really know how to explain it. I just watch things. I listen. I take notice. I'm quiet. I'm thinking of some things like leading up to the 2022 signing class. There were just some things going on there that I didn't know how to quantify, but just kept popping up. They made me think this or think that. I saw some things, and I made an episode around that time before I went on sabbatical for a year that was about A&M possibly having a top 3 class. I ended up with the number 1 class. And again, it was not something I can explain. It was just something that seemed to be there working in the shadows. So I don't know how else to explain this except to show you a clip. And I'll try to explain what I mean best, but let's listen to Will Lee explain. Perhaps he can do it better.
At SEC Media Days, the three of you that were there said it's personal. So how have you seen the entire team since coming to camp kind of take on that persona?
Everybody wants to win. That's the main thing. Like, I'm tired. Everybody's tired of seeing us saying we're going to be an 8-4 team and stuff like that. So it's really disrespectful. And, everybody's taking that on the heart. So everybody's coming out here every day working hard and just trying to be the greatest team we can be and then change the history of Texas A&M football.
How do you feel like that's gone so far?
It's been going positive. Everybody's moving in a positive direction with it. And, we have our ups and downs on certain days. We're human, but our goal is to come out every day and execute and play 4 quarters of football. So that's what we've been doing.
Bateman was saying the other day that Des Ricks has been one of the shining stars at campus. Yeah. What have you seen from his play that maybe warranted a comment like that?
Yeah, that's my dog. Just him. You could see from him last year, he got a chip on his shoulder. Like, I feel like him. He feel like he's left out in the conversation of top cornerbacks in this league, and he's really showing everybody that he's really one of those players that can go out there and ball with the best. So he's my dog for sure, and he's been stepping up this summer.
When you have such a good season last year, second team All SEC, what does the next level kind of look like for you that you think you can do this year?
Next level is Jim Thorpe. They left me off that list, and I feel disrespected. Yeah. I feel like it doesn't make sense because it's politics at the end of the day, but I don't see how I can be the best defensive player watch list and not be on the Jim Thorpe watch list. But at the end of the day, it's their opinion, and that's their opinion. So I'm going to go out there and show them what I'm supposed to do and show them I'm the best cornerback in college football.
When you found out that you were left off that list, do you remember where you were and just kind of what your reaction is?
Yeah, I was in the locker room, actually. I was sitting down with York, and then York actually showed me the the whole list of the watch list of the Jim Thorpe, and he was like, he wasn't on there. And ever since then, it just kept a little fire in my heart, you know. So that's my that's a little the chip on my shoulder for the season for sure.
Interesting. Hey, if you're still here, I don't ask for subs. I feel like asking for subs makes this about me. I don't want that. In fact, I encourage you to unsubscribe. Now, if you feel it will help your algorithm because you like what we got going on here, then by all means, do what you got to do. I mean, you might do better just liking or sharing with a bud or turning the bell on or something. That might do your algorithm better. I don't know. Just know views are enough for me. But be warned, I got 2 more episodes coming this week. I got 5 big questions for A&M versus UTSA and my UTSA preview. So do what you must. I don't want the subs though. They keep happening. I'll deal with them, whatever. Views is fine. It's about you. Now, quick word from our sponsor. You've heard of Rowback? Well, this channel couldn't get them. We got Paddle Forward. Paddle Forward is sponsoring today's segment. Check out their link in the description for their fine apparel. So let me be clear. I'm not here to pump sunshine. This is more for looking back, right? Because I don't want to show you these clips. This is something I learned while I took a step back. I don't want to be the maroon Kool-Aid pusher, okay? That's not what I want to do here. I want to say this to you about what I'm showing you here. If things happen, if we are able to get out of this 8-4 funk, and maybe we go to 9-3, maybe 10-3, 10-2, whatever it may be, 9-3 plus, let's just call it. I think what we would do at that point, we would look back and we would say, oh, hey, this is some of the stuff that contributed and led to that. I don't know what to get at with what Will Lee is saying there. It's hard to put into words. I'm thinking about some things back in, I think it was probably 2022, 2023, somewhere around there. Yeah, 2023, I believe, when Terry Price passed. I thought that this was going to be an X factor. I did. I think it's something that galvanized the team. So I do think it was somewhat an X factor, but it probably didn't pay the dividends that maybe I thought it was going to pay. But it's also hard to quantify because if you're a 7-5 team, or what were you? Were you actually an 8-4 team? So maybe you were a 6-6 team. Maybe that helped them to get to 7-5 that year. Maybe 7-5, and maybe that's what they were, and it helped them to keep them from falling apart. So maybe that's what that was. I'm sure a lot of things contributed to it, and I don't know that actually had the effect that maybe we wanted to. Now, I'll give you a quick example why I think this is a little bit different than specifically the Terry Price situation. Whereas that was very heartfelt what was going on with the team at that time, with this guy, a beloved guy. I don't think it really resonated with them personally. They were kind of removed from the situation to a degree. And I think it takes something that's a little bit more homegrown, internalized, and personal for it to really hit that culture part, that motivation piece, to will you to the next level, to do more, to get better. I'm sure they played hard for a time. Point in case, last year against Mizzou, there was bulletin board material, right? We've heard this from Nick Saban so much about rat poison. He hates rat poison. He wants them to think that they're not good enough. This is also the Bella Caroli style, right? Just never tell anybody they're good. And so they're always just trying to get better, and they need something for that. Now, in this particular game, there was this whole blanket gate situation, right? And the team galvanized around that, specifically from the cornerback situation and our receivers, right? Because they were supposed to be a blanket, and we showed them that we were the blanket, not them. And that worked for a game, but not really much further than that. So what I'm showing you here, you talk about this Will Lee clip now, right? He's taken this very personal. He's been left off this award. He's tired of hearing about the 8-4. He's talking about also Des Ricks, right? Because it's not enough for this to be just about one player. For this to be season long, it's got to be, first off, team wide. and it's got to be something that's deep within each player. Like I said, that's why I think it's got to be personal. You hear about York coming over there to show him this. This stuff is hard to manufacture. And when things like this are coming up, I think it's almost as if it's an omen. So I don't know. We'll see what happens from all this, but I think it's a big piece for us to use as a jumping off point. I think it's a big time jumping off point. And I'm going to even get back over to one last name because Zune was asked about this as well. He was asked about the offensive line. So what happened? We got kind of blew up a little bit last year. I mean, Cam Dewberry didn't come back fine. There were maybe some others, Aki, but in large part, like 7, 8 dudes come back. They could have gone to the NFL, or I guess it was probably 4 or 5 guys from the offensive line starting last year. Could have gone to the NFL. They don't. They come back. A bunch more could have transferred. They don't. They come back. Why? Zune says because they've got unfinished business. Right now, to me, this team is focused. They've been focused like this for a while. That's what it takes throughout fall camp, prior to summer workouts. All of this, they are focused on beating this 8-4 bug. If we get past 8-4, I think this is going to be the thing we say that did it. They have unfinished business. I'm ready to see them finish that business. Check back. We got more episodes later this week.